So the first question is 10 million electrons are removed from a neutral body, then the charge on the body is. So if electrons are removed from a neutral body, so the body will become positively charged. So we are interested in the amount of positive charge left over on the body after removal of 10 million electrons. So let us go for the solution. So definitely the charge left over on the neutral body, that will be positive. This is sure because electrons are removed. Now we are interested how many charges, positive charges will be there. So Q is equal to 10 million. This is 10 and 10 million means 10 to power 6. And this is the charge on a single electron. So charge on a single electron is multiplied by 10 million electrons. So this 10 to power minus 19 and this 10 to power 6 and this is 10 to power 7. So finally what we will get 1.6 into 10 to power minus 12 coulomb. So this is the right answer. So 10 to power minus 19 and okay, 10 to power. Okay, so solve this expression and finally we will get Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 to power minus 12 coulomb. So this is the positive charge left over on the neutral body after removal of 10 million electrons. So option 2 is correct. Next question. 1 million. Now 1 million electrons are added to a glass rod. The total charge on the rod is. So now the electrons are added. So we have to find out the total charge. So let us go for that. So when electrons are added, the glass rod will become negatively charged. So how much negative charge will be there on the glass rod after adding 1 million electrons? So take the charge on a single electron, which is minus 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb, and this is 1 million 10 to power 6. So the charge, negative charge present on the glass rod is Q is equal to minus 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 13 coulomb. So which is the right option? So this is the right option. Students, take the screenshot of every slide so that whenever it is required to have the restudy of these topics, you can go through that. 10 raised to the power 20 electrons are removed from a conductor. The nature and the magnitude of the charge developed on it. So 10 raised to the power 20 electrons are removed. So definitely when electrons are removed, the conductor will become positively charged. So the nature means type of polarity acquired by the conductor. So the conductor will become positive because electrons are removed. So the answer of this part, the nature of the conductor or the nature of the charge developed. The charge developed is the positive charge. And second is the magnitude of the charge. Now let us find what is the magnitude of the charge. Again, it's a very simple question. So the final charge on the conductor, that will be positive because electrons are removed from the conductor. So 10 to power 20 electrons are removed. So multiply 10 to power 20 with charge on a single electrons, and we will get Q is equal to 16 coulomb. So 16 coulomb of positive charge will left over on the conductor after removing 10 to power 20 electrons. So 16 coulomb means the option first. Very important question, very powerful question. Just a minute. Very important, very interesting question. So two equally charged pitch ball 3 centimeter apart repel each other with a force of 4 Newton. The charge on each ball is. So pitch ball, basically what is a pitch ball? So pitch ball, so let me take any ball, and suppose I make this diagram so that you can understand. And here we have a thread and the ball is there, a ball. And this ball is wrapped with silver paper, silver foil paper. So silver foil paper wrapping is there. We have another ball, and that ball is also wrapped with silver foil paper. So now this becomes the pitch ball. So what we are given, two equally charged pitch ball 3 centimeter apart. So the distance between them, this is 3 centimeter. 3 centimeter. Equally charged. If the charge on this is Q, then charge on this is also Q. Okay. So two equally charged pitch balls 3 centimeter apart repel each other. So because like charges are there, so they will repel each other and they will repel. So they will repel each other and the repulsive force, they will be outside. So this is force F in the left direction. This is again the force in the right direction. Repel each other with a force of 4 Newton, and this force is given, it is 4 Newton. F is equal to 4 Newton. 4 Newton. And this again is 4 Newton. So this is the actual case. Now what we have to find out, the charge on each ball is, find the charge on each ball. So it is very easy to find out two equal charges are there. By simple applying the Coulomb law, we can find out. Simple apply the Coulomb law. So this is F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, two like charges. So each charge is Q, so Q square upon R square. So we are interested in this Q. We are interested in this Q. So we can find out this Q. We also know 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, that is 9 into 10 to power 9. Force is given 10 Newton, 4 Newton, sorry. So convert this Newton into Dian, because the units, they are in centimeter, distance is in centimeter. So convert into Dian. So 4 into 10 to power minus 5 into 9 into 10 to power 9 into Q square, and divided by distance. Distance is 3 centimeter square. So 3 centimeter square, that will become 3 centimeter, means that can be written as 3 into 10 to power minus 2. This is 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. So because we need to square this, the square, so that will become 9 into 10 to power minus 4. Now we can find out this Q square. So this Q square, solve for this Q square. So you will get Q square is equal to 4. Let me just erase all these things. So Q square is equal to 4 into 10 raised to the power minus 18. and Q comes out to be 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 9 coulomb. So option 2 is correct. So again, I repeat this question. Two equally charged pitch ball. Pitch ball means you take any plastic ball, small ball, or any material ball, wrap the ball surface with the silver foil, and suspend them with the help of a thread, and make them apart 3 centimeter, and the force is 4 Newton. So we are asked to find out the charge on each ball. So by simple applying the Coulomb law, force is given. We know 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. We know the value of R. So very easily we can find out this Q. So Q comes out to be 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 9 Coulomb. Next question. The ratio of electric force of attraction to the gravitational force between the protons and electrons of the hydrogen atom is of the order of. So ratio of electric force means ratio of electric force. So electric force, basically that is a Coulomb force. Electric force, basically that is a Coulomb force. And we are also familiar with the gravitational force. So what is the situation? We have a hydrogen atom. So let me take, this is the hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom, it is a proton electron system. There is no neutron. So this is the nucleus, and only one proton is there in the nucleus. And this is the revolving electron. This is the revolving electron. And suppose the distance is R. So this is 1 unit positive charge on the proton. This is charge on the electron. So treat this as one charge, Q1. Treat this as another charge, Q2. So we can find out the electrostatic force. So electric force F is equal to, which is called the Coulomb force, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. This is Q1. Q1 is proton. And Q2, it is electron, divided by R square. Then this is the electric force. This is the electric force between proton and electron. And the second force is, it is the gravitational force. So let me find out the gravitational force. So gravitational force is represented by G. So gravitational force G is capital G, universal gravitational constant, mass of the proton. Mass of the proton, because in the gravitational force we deals with the masses. In the Coulomb force we deals with the charges and mass of the electron and the separation between them, square of the distance between them. So call this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. And we are asked to find out ratio. Ratio means if we divide equation 1 by equation 2, then we will find the ratio. So now let us go for the solution. Solution is also given. So ratio is Fe upon Fg. Fe upon Fg. So this R square will be cancelled. This R square, it will cancel out when we divide. So this R square will be cancelled out. So finally we will left with this charge on the proton and electron, that is taken as same. So charge on the proton, that is equal to charge on the electron. So that is same. So this becomes E square. So I can write here E square. So this is E square. So I can take it as E square. E square. So R square is cancelled by R square. And what is left? When we divide this, so we are left with, and this is written as K. This is K, the value of K. So we get K E square upon G, mass of the electron and mass of the proton. So now place the value. K is given, mass of the electron is given 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram. Mass of the proton is given, proton is a little bit heavier than the electron. So that is also given. So mass of the proton is given, mass of the electron is given, charge on the electron is known, the value of K is known, the value of G is known. So the value of F that comes out to be equal to 10 raised to the power 39, 10 raised to the power 39. Okay, so this was the question. The ratio of electric force means Fe to the gravitation force means Fg. So that comes out to be 10 raised to the power 39. So what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? So that is 10 to the power 39. So let me just tell you exactly what is the conclusion. So F that comes out to be 10 raised to the power, place the value of F. So place the value of F, 10 raised to the power 39. So 10 raised to the power 39 is equal to Fe upon Fg. So from this we can conclude Fe, the Coulomb force, is equal to 10 raised to the power 39 times the gravitational force. 10 to the power 39 is the gravitational force. So this is the conclusion. And this is very easily which we can prove in our daily life, because you see that gravitational force is a weak force, and the electrostatic force, that is a strong, 10 to the power 39 times the gravitational force. So take a comb, rub on your hair, and try to pick up the small paper pieces laying on the ground. So very easily the charge on the comb that can attract the piece of paper from the surface of Earth. The Earth is also applying a gravitational force on the pieces of paper, but the Coulomb force due to the charges present on the comb, that is 39 times the gravitational force. Then and only then the comb can uplift the pieces of paper. So this was all about this question. So let me go to the another one. So again, very important question for all the competitions, whether any student go for NEET examination or IIT examination. So this question is very important. Many times it is asked in many competitive exams. So let us go for that. First, try to understand the statement. A charge Q naught is placed at the center of the line joining two equal charges Q. The system of three charges will be in equilibrium if Q naught is equal to. Means we are given two equal charges. One is Q, another is also Q. And they are separated by some distance. They are separated by some distance. So they are at that distance where they are applying a force on each other, but the net force on any charge due to on one charge due to another charge is zero. So it means they are in equilibrium. They are in equilibrium. They are in equilibrium. But now I introduce a third charge, Q naught. I do not know how much is the charge. So we are asked to find out how much charge that should be placed over here exactly in the center of these two charges, so that the system of these three charges that remains in equilibrium. Okay, I repeat the statement. Means two equal charges are given, they are separated by certain distance. I introduce a third charge Q naught, and the condition is that this third charge that should not disturb the equilibrium of these two charges, or after introducing the third charge, the system of all these three charges that remains in equilibrium, that remains in equilibrium. So what is the meaning of equilibrium? Equilibrium means, so if I take this charge, if I consider this charge, I can take this charge also. So if I take this charge, so net force on this charge due to this and due to this, that must be equal to 0. So if net force on this charge due to this Q naught and due to this Q, if that comes out to equal to 0, so it means this charge and the other charges, they will remain in equilibrium. Likewise, I can take this charge also. So if I consider this charge, so I will do the same concept. I will apply the same concept. If net force on this charge due to these charges, due to the rest of these two charges, if the net force on this that comes out to be equal to 0, because this charge will apply a force on this charge, and this charge will also apply a force on this charge. So by the Coulomb law, I can find out the force between these two charges. By the Coulomb law, I can also find the force between these two charges. And if the sum of those two charges, those forces, that is taken equal to 0, so that will give me the equilibrium. So the system of three charges that will be in equilibrium if the net force on either left or right charge due to rest of the charges, that is equal to 0. So let me try to find out that. So first let me find out the force between Q naught and Q. So it is a Coulomb force. Let me call this is F1, because this will be a Coulomb force. And how much the Coulomb force will be there? F is equal to, I will take K Q naught and square of the distance between them, R square. So this is the force between these two charges. So now I will find out force between this charge and this charge. So this charge will apply a force on this charge. Now the force between these two charges. So let me call that force as F2. So F2, that will be equal to K times Q square upon R square, upon 2R square, and this will become 4R square, 2R whole square, and this 2R whole square. So this can be written as K Q square upon 4R square. So now I have two forces, this F1 and this F2. So note the point. I am interested in finding the force on either on the left charge or on the right charge. So first I am taking the left charge. So this charge will apply a force F1 on this Q, and this Q will also apply a force F2 on this charge. Now the total force on this charge due to these two charges means due to Q naught and Q. So the total force F that comes out to be equal to F1 plus F2. So place the value of F1, place the value of F2, and we will get. So what is the condition for equilibrium? Because we are interested in equilibrium. So equilibrium के लिए क्या चाहिए? इक्विलिब्रियम तभी होगा जब ये अपनी पोजीशन से नहीं हटेगा. मींस इसके ऊपर नेट फोर्स, मान लिया एक फोर्स इधर है, F1 इधर है, तो F2 इसके ऊपर कुछ ऐसे होने चाहिए, F2 ऐसे होने चाहिए. इक्विलिब्रियम तभी होगा ना है ना। अगर सेम डायरेक्शन में फोर्सेस हो जाए तब तो इक्विलिब्रियम नहीं होगा। सो इन फोर्सेस को अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में होना पड़ेगा तभी इक्विलिब्रियम होगा। सो इसका मतलब इन दोनों चार्जेस में से एक चार्ज को पॉजिटिव होना पड़ेगा और एक चार्ज को नेगेटिव होना पड़ेगा, तभी फोर्स पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव होगी। इन दोनों में से एक चार्ज को, तो ये तो ऑलरेडी गिवन है, ये तो गिवन है, ये तो गिवन नहीं है, ये चार्ज पॉजिटिव है नेगेटिव, दोनों में से एक नेगेटिव होगा। अब देखते हैं कौन सा नेगेटिव होगा, ये नेगेटिव होगा या ये नेगेटिव होगा, ठीक है ना, ये अब निकालेंगे हम। सो सो इक्विलिब्रियम के लिए कंडीशन क्या है कि इसके ऊपर नेट फोर्स जीरो होनी चाहिए। नेट फोर्स जीरो तभी होगी जब दो इक्वल एंड अपोजिट फोर्सेस लगेंगी। अगर फोर्सेस सेम डायरेक्शन में हो जाएं तब नेट फोर्स जीरो नहीं हो सकता। सो एक F1 अगर मान लिया, अभी नहीं पता कि F1 लेफ्ट है या राइट है, अगर F1 लेफ्ट होगी तो F2 राइट होगी, है ना, और तो इक्वल एंड अपोजिट फोर्सेस होंगी तभी ये इक्विलिब्रियम में रहेगा, तभी अपनी पोजीशन को चेंज नहीं करेगा, यहीं इसी जू का तू इसी पोजीशन पे रहेगा। सो कंडीशन ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम लगा दी कि नेट फोर्स जीरो, तो ये लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में F इज इक्वल टू जीरो करके इन दोनों को हमने सोल्व किया और Q के लिए सोल्व किया, Q नोट के लिए सोल्व किया। Q नोट इज इक्वल टू माइनस Q अपॉन 4। सो जो Q नोट की वैल्यू आई है वो, जो Q चार्ज है उसका 1/4 होना चाहिए और Q नोट कितना होना चाहिए, नेगेटिव होना चाहिए। सो द फाइनल कंक्लूजन इज दैट द Q नोट, this Q naught is equal to minus Q naught by 4. Q naught by 4. Okay. So if the Q is positive, then Q naught is minus 1/4 of the charge on the Q naught. So let me erase first all these things. Okay, there is another technique to solve this question. This is my technique to solve this question. I prefer to use this method, but there is another one method, which is a shortcut method. Directly by applying the formula, no need to find out the equilibrium of forces. Okay, so no need to just focus on this diagram. No need to consider the distances. No need to apply the Coulomb law. Directly with the help of this shortcut method. So Q naught is equal to minus Q because these two charges are given. So take the minus Q, because we know that why this is minus, because these three charges are there. So for equilibrium, we need to take the opposite charges. One must be positive, other must be negative, so that the forces become equal and opposite. So that's why this minus Q is introduced in the shortcut formula. So Q naught, we are interested in Q naught. So Q naught is equal to minus Q bracket 1 over 1 plus Q1, Q2. Now Q1, Q2 means I am taking these two charges, Q and Q as Q1 and Q2. Okay, so these two charges, basically this is Q1 and this is Q2. This is Q2. And basically these Q1 and Q2, they are the same. So ultimately Q1, Q2, they are same charges. So Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q. Or in this case, it is equal to capital Q. Okay, this is equal to Q. So I can write Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q. So this will become, when they are same, this will become 1 and root of 1. Again, it is 1. So in the denominator, we have 1 plus 1. Okay, so what we'll get 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 square, that is 1 by 4. So finally, Q naught comes out to be equal to minus Q upon 4, the same result we are getting. So that is up to you which method you prefer. This is the method in which we find the net force on any charge. You may take this charge and find out the net force. You may take this charge, find the net force on this. And if the net force is equal to 0, it means the system will be in equilibrium. So, and find out the value of Q naught. So you can apply this method and you can apply the direct shortcut technique also. So I have only 2 minutes and now I will stop my lecture. Before that, I take the attendance. Anjali, Khushi,
जी सर।
Mahima, and Raj.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. So this is all about today lecture, and then in the next lecture we will come with some more numericals. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
Okay.